Hi guys, welcome back to Tom Wants Things. On today's episode we are focusing on the Porsche Cayman build, and we have got one big change that we are going to be working on in this episode. So those of you that don't know this car, let's crack on and show you what we've got. Hi guys, so this is our Porsche Cayman build. Those of you that have been following the channel for a while will have seen this when we first sort of made all of these crazy changes on the car. So what we've actually got on this car: we've got an absolutely mad wide body kit, which is some pan over fenders. We've got some TMT works, which I designed myself, these sort of fender vents. Got sort of the Joey mod blacked out headlights. This is what we're going to come onto. And then as we come round, we've got carbon kind of everywhere, carbon all down here on all the intakes. Got our side step extensions, absolutely massive wheels, Vertigo forged, and the absolutely monstrous GT2 rear wing on the back. Right, so what are we actually doing? So we've had this car for a while now. This is actually the longest standing car in the fleet for this channel. I've had this nearing on 10 years now, so it's been with me for a while. It's gone through various changes. It's gone from sort of a full track spec sort of build, it's then become sort of a little bit more sort of subtle, it's then turned into a police car. It then went into Cadbury's mode when we took it over to Le Mans, and then finally over lockdown in 2020 we decided to embark on a wide body kit for it, which is kind of where it is now, with a few sort of subtle changes and stuff that have happened along the way. But keen eyes will realise that this bumper here is black, and it's also very different to the GT4 front bumper that we used to have on this, and that's kind of giving an indication as to exactly what our kind of plans are for this, which is to change this up, make it completely unique, and we have just the thing for it. Alright, so coming over here behind our Kingdom Saxo, looking there, just sort of waiting to get out on the road, we have this, which is a Bomex front bumper off of a, what would it be, a Mk4 Supra. So this is actually the exact front bumper that is on the orange Supra from Fast and Furious, which is awesome. We've been kind of umming and ahhing about what we do on the front of that car for a while. We'd sort of looked at various different things that we could do, various different bumpers, various different styles, and this came up very, very cheap on Facebook Marketplace, and for 25 quid, which is what we paid for it, which I think is an absolute bargain. It definitely has some damage, as you can see in here in places, but we're going to be cutting it all up anyway, so it doesn't matter. And what we're thinking is this is going to look absolutely epic slapped on the front of this. So first things first is we need to cut some stuff up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take kind of the top section of this bumper and we're going to mould it onto the bottom half of the Bomex. So first we kind of need to mark up on this bumper where we want to cut. We're going to leave a little bit of extra sort of flange, basically, just in case we need to kind of sort of trim back. It's easier to take stuff off than it is to add stuff on, so that's what we're going to be doing to start with. So I'm going to crack on, get it masked up, and I'll catch you in a sec. Right guys, just showing what we're up to. So this is basically what our cut line is going to be, which is kind of the lower face all the way across here. We're going to take our plate off as well, and then as we come around here, we're kind of going to just get a straight cut, just to kind of give us a nice surface. Right, just like that, ta-da! Whole bottom section is now entirely free. So this bad boy can sit over here, and this is where we essentially line up this bad boy and then realise that we don't like the look of it and we've just ruined the front of this car. It's kind of looking a little bit more like a rallycross dark car sort of thing at the moment. Maybe. So yeah, definitely something that I've thought about previously, but no, we better carry on with what we're thinking. Right, it's pushed into place. Got to obviously lop off this top section, which we're going to do in a second, then potentially tuck it underneath the top, and then obviously we've got a lot of bridge in the gap between the two, but I don't know, maybe it's going to look okay. I don't know, still unsure to be honest, but it's not looking sort of too crazy off the corners. Width wise is looking, I mean, pretty spot on to be honest. Look at that, like, that is crazy. Sort of even with the wide arches and stuff, it actually comes out to the exact sort of gap. So yeah, let's lop this top off and let's see how close we can get it. Oh no, after years and years and years of abuse, we've finally killed it. Oh no. Oh, it's dead. Great, okay. Let's go and get the cheap Titan replacement. Alright, back in business with the old Titan. Let's get this bad boy on the go. Okay, now it's looking sick. Damn. That is looking cool. Oh, I mean, okay, that angle there at the moment, I am happy with. I think this is going to look absolutely epic.
A few moments later.
Right guys, so next stage on this whirlwind journey is to start to create kind of a bond between these two pieces. So this is the way that we're doing it. We did the same way with the Porsche bumper on the 106. It seems to have worked pretty well. So this is just sort of building adhesive, expanding foam. So basically what we're doing is we're spraying it in between the gaps to kind of create a join. That way we can then get this bumper off the car once this is set, and then effectively have two bits that are pretty much sort of together, kind of glass over the top, to create a seamless join in between the two. Fiberglass filler then over the top of that, and then we've got our smooth surface and transition between the two. Got a few areas that we're going to need to kind of build up where we've kind of cut out some pieces, as we can see here on the bumper, so we're going to have to blend those two bits in. Obviously this is going to need blending into the kind of main bumper lines as well. This bit we're going to kind of extend down and kind of come into this piece as it comes around here. I think that would look pretty cool, to be honest. So that whole piece then becomes kind of one as it comes round, and then kind of we've got a lot of work around the front here. What's good about this expanding foam is once it's kind of set and it's grown to the size that it needs to be, we can carve it. So we'll get a knife blade and we'll basically start carving to give us kind of an initial shape in between the two of how we want this bumper to kind of transition into the kind of one above. And then what's also good is that if we do need to make some more cuts, we can do that without any problems afterwards. So yeah, going to wait for this to set, and then we'll have our two bits together. Alright, so it's a bit dark now, and as we can see it's all kind of expanded, and then basically what we're doing is this, which is cutting off all the excess, but what this is doing is giving us a nice proper strong bond between these two panels so that we can, as I said a minute ago, use that to glass over the top. So apologies for the lights, but it's at the middle of the night now. So yeah, we've basically cut off all the excess. It's looking really messy at the moment. Fully understand that, but trust the process. What all this is doing is giving us a base so that we can now start to properly glass and fiberglass filler over the top to kind of get our shape. So this has now bonded the two sections together. We'll leave this to properly cure overnight, and then we can crack on with actually starting to form over the top and actually creating the nice shape which this bumper is hopefully going to have on it. But yes, kind of coming together. I think it's going to look pretty cool. But yeah. Yeah, and as I said, you've got to trust the process. So anyway, because it's pitch black outside, we're going to leave it for the moment. We will crack back on in the next episode with basically starting the proper process of getting the shape sorted. So now that that's curing outside for a bit, we'll gap that overnight. And then tomorrow or the day after, we'll start cracking on with getting the fiberglass over the top. Now that the two things are joined, we can actually take that front bumper off of the Porsche and then bring it into the garage so that we can actually do proper work at night without having to worry about the weather, which has been a bit of a sticking point for us at the moment. But we need those two panels to be properly bonded, which is what that kind of expanded adhesive foam has actually created for us, so that those two bits can stay together, and we haven't got to worry too much when we take the mounting screws out. So yeah, cheers everyone for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.